Previously on Scotty Survivor Lost in Time. With the dark round afoot, everybody was scrambling to stay alive. The majority alliance was looking to split the votes between Haley and Abby as they were afraid Vivian had won immunity, but Ethan and Xavier saw this as an opportune time to take out Nadia and defuse a potential OG Zaman Final 3. But Henry had ideas of his own to take out Ethan, who had dictated the first two merge votes of the season. Abby had the swing vote here in this decision between choosing Nadia and choosing Ethan, and in the end sent one of her closest allies packing without him suspecting a thing. 8 are left, who will be voted out tonight.
I just voted off Ethan. And I shouldn't have done it. And I actually regret it.
Last tribal was by far the hardest I've ever gone through. Voting out Ethan was a really tough decision. I really think it was best for me, given that I know that Ethan wanted to vote me out.
My last confessional was in a car, and I was talking about, it was the day of tribal, and I was talking about how I want to vote out Nadia and I don't want to vote out Ethan. And yet I voted out Ethan, so like what the heck happened?
So I thought that I needed to vote Ethan out. I know that it was even harder for Abby, because I think that Ethan might have taken Abby to the end. I still have no idea. I have no idea what Ethan's game plan was. I do think he had one. I don't actually think he was going willy-nilly the way that he said he was, but I don't know what it was.
It was 2 times in a row where Ethan decided the vote and it was against my voting block. And so I was like, I don't know why this time would be any different.
Haley, you did it because, you know, don't let people walk all over you in this game. Like, he voted out 2 of your closest allies back to back. He flipped. He didn't have to flip.
I didn't know if he was going to, like, pull something like that again because, like, 1 is a coincidence, but, like, 2 is a pattern at that point. And I didn't know if he was going to do something again where he tells Xavier to vote Haley and then Haley goes. I mean, it wasn't going to be me. I knew that I was kind of safe if it was up to him, but I couldn't lose Haley, and, like, it just didn't make sense in the game for me to let Ethan vote off another one of my allies. Because I knew Vivian would be next, because he didn't trust Vivian at all.
Ultimately, it was actually Abby's decision. I did say, I'm willing to vote Nadia if that's what she wanted. I, get it. And she's the one who said, no, I think we should vote Ethan.
It makes sense for Vivian to want him out because, he was kind of going to come after Vivian, I think, at some point.
I said, I want to vote out Nadia, and they were like, well, we think we should vote out Ethan. And we did, and they convinced me. And afterwards, Abby texted me and said, Haley, I feel bad. I should have listened to you. And I'm like, I don't feel bad.
Why do I keep crying in these? It's, embarrassing. I feel like I've cheated on this man. I literally feel, so bad about it.
It was still really, really tough because, he did help us. He told me when I was getting voted out. I just didn't know. I know that he probably wouldn't have voted me out for a little bit, but he was very powerful. And at some point, I didn't want it to get to the point where, Ethan could just wave his hand and I would be out, which I really thought was coming up.
I don't even know if it was the right thing to do because I really do think Ethan would have never voted for me, and I told him that I was never gonna vote for him, and then I did, and that feels bad, and that's not the sort of person I want to be, and I did it anyway.
It was way harder to convince Abby, also because Abby's a lot nicer than me, and it just hurt her to vote Ethan because she said she never would.
This game does not mean as much to me as Ethan being friends with me.
It really speaks to the stress and just emotional roller coaster this game is, and how the push and pull of this is real life but it's not real life, and these are my friends but voting means nothing.
I think Ethan would have won this game, and Ethan deserved to win this game, and I screwed that up for him.
Ethan, my auntie, got voted out on our last travel during the dark round, and I am really sad about it.
Holy shit, no. What?
He got voted out on a Wednesday and actually got on TMs again with him on Saturday. And it made me sad because that's what we did when we first met. We became friends. And now he's out of the game.
I know he's not my only ally, but he was definitely my closest ally. And where do I go from here?
I don't know who the hell flipped or who the fuck flipped, but it flipped and then Ethan was out. I really wanted Ethan to stay in, so that's a rip.
We had a plan that we were going to split the votes, 3-3-3, and we would have gone to a revote and gone like Abby or Haley out.
I'm I'm so sad that Ethan's gone, but like the more I think about it, the more I think this is actually a good thing for me in this game right now. Like, I've started to realize, like, looking back on me and Ethan's relationship, I guess I haven't realized how close he still is with Abby. Like, I thought, like, I was so convinced that he was, like, very willing to, like, if he ever had to vote her out, he would, because she was a puppet master and had lied to him. And, like, I guess I was a little blinded by that he, like, was really close with her.
So they could have had 2 idols and Viv had immunity, where they just clean board, no votes for them, and then 3 for us. Or they had an extra, which I think is very unlikely. Or they have an extra vote, which means they give an extra vote to, obviously, Ethan, because of the play he pulled last time. Or Xavier flipped, which I think is very possible. And he's been close to Viv, and I'm having trouble trusting him.
I'm scared to think of who it is because so many names have been passed around, so immediately the first person who I thought who flipped was Xavier, because like Xavier and Vivian are close and I could really see Xavier just taking advantage of this dark ground and flipping.
I don't know who did it because it's a dark ground. I don't know how many people or who, or like if they played something, but we fucked up because we were going with them and that was so dumb.
But he texted me and was essentially like, no, I didn't flip. And they're like, I asked like Vivian and Abby like who flipped, and Vivian said my name, okay, which is weird, and then Abby said Henry's name. So I'm like, okay, well, they would never tell you who would actually flip.
Loki, I still don't trust Xavier, but
I don't know. Do you swear to me you didn't flip?
I swear to God, like I wouldn't lie about it. There's no point in me
Okay, I swear on my life I didn't flip either.
I swear on like my entire parental beings, bro. Like I didn't flip.
Okay, I swear on everything that I didn't flip.
My new like kind of like star that I kind of like stick to is gonna be like Nadia. She's pretty chill and she's been pretty like trustworthy. So I'm gonna try to stick to her.
He said I heard someone flip, and I was like, who would flip? And he said, I have no idea. I've been told Henry's name and mine. I also just have a lot of blind trust with people right now. It's kind of frustrating because I just don't know who's on my side at this point. Like, I consider Valen my number 1 ally right now, and I've told her that she's my number 1. I just don't know if it's reciprocated.
Haley, Abby, and Vivian only needed one more person, in a sense, to vote with them if we were all splitting votes, theoretically. And so basically, Henry was the one who flipped and voted out Ethan.
Henry wouldn't flip, right? I really hope Henry didn't flip, because I've been telling this OG Zaman that, guys, like, if we just make it to like final 6 or whatever, we can use the extra vote and we could be solid.
Nadia saw us like while we were on campus, me and Ethan were on campus, and she came over and she just like kind of went off. She said, you need to figure out who the traitor is. I had a conversation with Henry after that tribal, after Ethan got voted out. We had a long discussion, and he basically told me like he really wants, he wants old Zaman to be the top 3, me, Nadia, and him. And he just didn't see that happening if Ethan was still in the game.
I was talking to Haley before the tribal. I talked to her once right after she talked to Ethan, and she made it seem like he had pitched something to her. She didn't mean to, but she was clearly like very conflicted.
Yeah, just like when she didn't mean to tell me that about your plan. She was like, you're close with Henry, right? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, okay, well, did he tell you about his plan about Ethan? And I was like, what plan? What are you talking about? And apparently she was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that.
I'm pretty sure Haley and Valen have some kind of alliance going on. Valen told Haley about the split vote. I don't know, maybe they wanted me to give up my immunity so they could vote me out.
She was like, it would be crazy if like we convinced Vivian to like play her idol from New York to Abby, but then we actually all vote for Vivian and then she gets out and like that's a great idea, but then we realized it was the morning of that same tribal. It probably would have been a little bit hard to like convince Vivian to do that. Very possible that happened. I'm kind of glad I didn't give it up, but I did want to make it clear that I would, just so Haley would trust me more.
It's hard at this point to separate like the game from real life, and I think that's where everyone is at right now. And Ethan, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. In the end, I kind of agreed with him. I was like, I mean, you're right. Like, Ethan played some big moves, and he was a risky player and like a risky ally, I guess. Like an ally that like I confided in, but I also didn't know all about. I love you, and you're such a good player and such a good friend. And I didn't want to vote you out. It was Vivian and Abby that convinced me.
I heard after Tribal, that Henry actually flipped. And I talked to him, and he told me he did, which is really interesting, because fuck that, fuck him. No. I understand people flipping. Haley voted Ethan too, that fucking sucked. But I get it, Ethan's been making some huge moves. Like, the moment he played the idol on me, like, that's bound to put a target on him and me.
Today there's a 3-hour challenge. I'm thinking there might be a tribal after, so I just texted Xavier saying, hey, if there's a tribal after, we should all vote Nadia.
I know I can't trust Vivian and Abby. And maybe not even Haley, but like, I'm in a dangerous position with the 5.
I know that I haven't had a chance to talk with him, but given that, like, I basically was like, look, we voted Ethan because it was Henry's plan, which is actually true. Henry brought it up. But because it was Henry's plan, and also we weren't sure if Ethan would even vote Nadia, which is true also, because we were worried that Ethan wouldn't want to piss Valen off by voting Nadia.
I don't know if I should go with this 5 because I know now that I'm definitely on the bottom.
I texted Xavier like, hey, these are the reasons I voted Ethan off, plus he backstabbed me, but I didn't mean to blindside you. So I do still want to work with you, and I think we should talk later. But just in case there's a tribal today, I'm gonna vote Nadia.
Even before she had the extra vote and it was dangerous, that's why I was trying to flip on her. But like, now I am definitely on the bottom.
I want to get Xavier out. I want to get Viv out. But I don't want to get Viv out if I can connect with her. So, my plan is to talk to both Viv and Xavier and see who I like better.
Vivian somehow got a target off herself, even though she played an idol and then won immunity. And I have a target on me, even though I just won immunity. I guess people are like, he's playing hard, but like, literally, Vivian is as well.
I'm not really seen as a threat right now. I think there's extremely bigger threats in this game, like Vivian, Abby, and Xavier for sure.
I don't know if Henry's gonna stick with us. I mean, I would hope so, because I hope we've like kind of earned his trust.
Someone flips was 4-4. And I don't even know who that third person is on their side and on our side. So I might have to play my extra vote this next tribal.
One thing I could do is go to like the Antichrist and go bond with Abby. Abby's actually kind of fun, even though, Puppet Master is brought up every single time.
The whole game is crumbling, which is bad for them, but that's good for me and Abby, because it's time for us to, get in those cracks.
production getting their first look at the new tribe after the dark round.
Ethan voted out at the last tribal council. So, a few questions about that last dark round. We are now out of the dark round. Xavier, walk me through that vote. Like, how do you feel about that?
That was a blind side, but I mean, what do you expect in the dark round? Like, I have to respect the play. Whoever did that, I still don't really know what happened, but I mean, it happens. It's the game.
Haley, how do you think the dark round's going to influence what happens moving forward?
We know what happened. Like, we know what the votes did, but we don't know how many people. We don't know where other votes went. We don't know necessarily who voted for the person who has been voted out. So there's a lot of unknowns right now. Yeah.
Thank you for that definition of the dark round. So with that, we'll get on to our next challenge. Immunity is once again back up for grabs. Because of the dark round, we will not be collecting immunity publicly from somebody here. We'll be giving it to whoever wins immunity after this. Today's challenge is called Touchy Subjects, and here's how it works. You'll be answering privately questions about one another. After you answer those privately, we'll then all come back outside, and you will answer publicly based off what you think the majority of people answered. For each time that you answer the majority, you'll get 1 point. Whoever scores the most points will be immune at the next tribal council and earn a spot in the final 7. With that, let's draw for spots and let's get started. As a reminder, there are 20 questions. The person with the most questions answered correctly will win immunity. In the case of a tie, we'll handle it with a tiebreaker. The first question was, who do you trust with your life? Please put up your answer for what you think the majority of people said. 3, 2, 1, reveal. Haley answering herself. A bold choice.
That was gonna be really awkward.
The correct answer was Valen. That means Nadia, Abby, Vivian, Valen, and Henry is correct. Who is the most honest? What does that mean if people in this game of deceit think that you're honest? Once again, shout out to season 1, Mikey L's on the close-up cam right now. Love to see it from Mikey L's. The correct answer was Xavier, meaning that Henry and Nikhil are the only ones who got it correct. Okay, your next question is, who never shuts up? Shane and I were not eligible answers, so it's only people in the game. Ready? And reveal. The correct answer was Abby. Nadia, Xavier, Abby, Valen, and Henry score a point.
I'm losing this.
Next question. Who has the biggest bark but the smallest bite? The correct answer was Nadia. Nadia getting the point for herself. Xavier, Abby also getting points in this round.
It's a comeback game.
Who can never survive on their own? Please reveal. The correct answer was Nikhil. The people correct on that round were Nikhil, Valen, and Haley. Let's hop into our next question. Who mistakenly thinks they're running this game? This was our first question with 3 correct answers. Those correct answers were Xavier, Abby, and Vivian. Seems like it's a three-way tie between Abby, Henry, and Valen. Who is most likely to stab you in the back? And reveal. Okay, the correct answers were Xavier and Vivian. We get points for Xavier, Vivian, and Valen. Valen now in the lead. Xavier coming in hot with the most honest and the most likely to stab you in the back. He'll honestly do it to you. Next question. Who would you not bring to a family dinner? We got one overwhelming favorite here. The correct answer was Nikhil. Nikhil correct, Vivian correct, Abby correct, Xavier correct, and Haley correct. Who looks like they cannot swim? The correct answers were Nikhil and Abby. Next question. Who is the most attractive? Does that mean personality-wise? Does that mean physically? We'll never know. We'll never know. Did Xavier answer himself? Yeah! Holy fuck. We're moving on. Xavier was the correct answer. Abby is now in the lead. Yeah. Next question. Who is the funniest?
Oh, Nikhil, my best friend.
The correct answers were Abby and Henry. Who would you like to be stranded on a desert island with? The correct answer was Valen. Who is most likely to win in a hot dog eating contest? Okay, and reveal. Okay, the correct answers were Xavier, Nikhil, and Haley. JK, Haley. The correct answers were Nikhil, Xavier, and Vivian. Sorry, Haley. Now we get juicy. Who would you least like to see win? Those who are voted out from this point onwards are on the jury. What does this question mean? Does this mean that you think they're a huge threat? You want to get them out? Or does it mean that you think you can beat them at the end? The correct answer was Abby, Henry, and Nikhil, and Haley, and Valen. So many people get their points. Okay, next question. Who absolutely needs to be voted out this round?
Got a smattering of Abby's and Vivian's.
Okay, the correct answer was Vivian. Who needs a wake-up call in this game?
I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
The correct answer was Nikhil. Nikhil answering himself correctly. We'll move on to our next question. Who is the biggest snake? Okay, the correct answers were Abby and Nadia. The Idol Queens coming out hot. Moving into our next question. Who does not deserve to be here? And reveal. We got Nikhil's all across the board here. Nikhil, very self-aware though. The correct answer was indeed Nikhil. Points for all. We have Henry and Xavier tied with 12 each. We're now moving into our final 2 questions. Who is the most dangerous player left? And reveal. Okay, the correct answer was Vivian. Nadia correct, Xavier correct, Abby, Vivian, meaning that Xavier enters the lead with 1 question remaining. The only people who can catch up are Abby and Henry. Here is our final question. Who will win Scotty Survivor Lost in Time? And reveal.
Confidence? I don't know.
The correct answer was Vivian.
Damn, looks like we go tonight, man.
13 correct
Dang.
points, meaning that with 13 correct points, Xavier wins individual immunity.
No claps. No claps.
Xavier is immune from tribal council, meaning that Xavier cannot be voted out and is guaranteed a spot in the final 7. To the rest of you, however, you're about to experience one of the craziest twists in Scotty Survivor history. And to introduce Double Trouble, I'm gonna bring over the second host, Shane, to explain more about the Double Trouble twist.
This twist is called Double Trouble, and here's how it works. This is essentially a large game of telephone. You will have 4 minutes to talk individually to each person in the cast, one-on-one. After you talk with them, you won't see them again until after the votes have been cast. You will have 4 minutes to talk to each person, get a sense of what's happening, and then we will go straight to a vote. There will be no tribal questions. If you wish to play an idol or an advantage, you will do it after the votes are cast.
Double Trouble!
That's 2 people.
Is 2 people talking amongst each other, hence Double Trouble. Let's get to it.
Okay, so obviously I'm on the chopping block tonight, as we saw from the superlatives. Everyone said that they want me to go home. But I am telling you, and I promise this is true, that people see you as a threat. And I think that you were like 1 or 2 of the superlatives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm worried about idols because
I don't think she has one.
No, I don't think she has one. I think Abby has one.
She's too selfish. She's not gonna play it on video.
That's true. Abby knows herself too.
There's no way she's too selfish. She's not gonna do it. Let's do Vivian, yeah. Just make sure everyone else in the squad knows.
Yeah.
That's why my initial plan, that's why my idea like from 2 weeks ago was for us to vote together. And then Ethan and Xavier told me that you told everyone that. So, I'm curious what you want to do tonight.
Do you know what happened with the Ethan vote? Yes. What do you think happened? I don't know. Someone flipped, and I'm between like 2 people on who did it, but I really don't know. Who did you tell me? It was Henry. Okay. Would you vote with Henry and me and give me the video? I am 100% on board with Nadia.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you think that's
What other people are going to do?
because in that same conversation with Xavier, I told him that he said that he was done for. I don't know if he trusts me at all anymore.
I think that if you vote for me, they'll come for you. I really think the guys are all working for you.
I'm slightly concerned about what happens after we get down to the 5.
Oh, an R5?
Yeah. Because I know like Zaman is kind of close.
Yeah, right. It's your old salon. I forgot about that. But you're okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, it was the first track. It was so long ago.
If it's Nadia, probably won't. Right. But if it's Nikhil, probably yes.
There's also the Survivor goodies. Because
I don't know if anyone has any. Do you?
I know there are definitely people that found them.
You think?
I don't know who found them.
You think Vivian has one?
I think she could, but I don't know what it would do.
Do you think I'm the biggest shirt in like this on the side?
I still like Xavier's. I mean, you know we tried to vote out Xavier. You did not work.
Are you in Xavier close?
But
Really?
yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what else to talk about because I think we already had a mutual understanding.
Yeah, exactly. We know who it's gotta be.
Yeah.
I just hope everyone else is on the same page.
Who'd you just talk to?
Haley.
What'd she say?
She said she wants to vote Alan. Or not Alan, Nadia.
Okay, but you don't want to do that probably, right?
I'm fine with that.
You're fine with that?
Yeah, I don't know why everybody thinks
Okay.
Zaman so.
Okay, no. Do you think Abby would play her idol too?
I don't think she would because Abby's like really nervous about herself.
Yeah.
I was thinking that.
If you're down to tell me who you guys are voting, I'll come to you. Like, I'm not saying I want to be close to Abby and them. I proposed the same thing with Ricky, but then he got eliminated the same day. Yeah, I was trying to do like a secret alliance with him. But like, yeah, for me, everyone thinks I don't talk to anyone, which is true mostly. But that's what I'm saying. I play very low key, so I want to see if you're interested in something like this.
Were you the bark no bite?
That one, yeah. And biggest snake with Abby.
Right.
So like, I mean, like I
got
like
you.
I know I was a snake like in the beginning. Like
Yeah.
I know that. Like I know that. And, like I own up to that. But I think post-merge boys, like I honestly have nothing.
Well, I think Haley is going to go Nadia. I think Xavier's going to go Nadia. And I don't.
Xavier's gonna go Nadia?
Did you vote Nadia last week?
I guess maybe did he actually?
Yeah. I mean, who will ever know, but.
I don't know. I heard my name came out as like the one who flipped. That makes no sense because I did not flip.
Because I didn't.
I didn't flip.
She might pop her advantage tonight.
I mean, okay. Her extra vote.
I don't know. I assume it did.
You do know.
How did I know?
You would know.
Why would I know?
Didn't she tell her?
No?
Are you sure?
Who's everyone?
She asked me if I think that Nadia would play her advantage, and I'm like, I have no idea if she will. She bought it or anything.
Yeah, I feel like she's only gonna play on her, or like for a more specific,
Like
self
if she makes it to the 6th, because
yeah, I'm a little afraid of that. Like,
Yeah.
to be honest.
But I do actually want to work with Xavier. Is your proposal including working with Xavier?
Yeah, it's including.
Okay, I genuinely want to. And if you are willing to talk to him about it, and like if he's down, like that's literally what I told him before. He'll show you the text. I told him. Well, I don't know if he can, but I told him this before challenge.
Didn't you text me before? And said
Oh, what she said?
She was like, it was a whole long text.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm just down to work with you. That's all. And obviously, because once it gets smaller, the 5 there's a mono-alliance. And that's.
I really think Old Zaman wants to go to the end together.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying is dangerous.
You're like, I feel how hard you're trying to read me right now.
Yeah.
There's nothing to read.
It's not working.
It's because there's nothing to read.
I just want to start.
I literally have no idea what you think.
Yeah, I mean, same.
Henry wants to vote out Nadia, and Nadia just was basically like, "You're voting someone for it, but I'm not," and so she knows that like her name is being thrown out there.
Who do you trust at this point?
You and Vanacore, honestly.
Yeah. I trust both of you. Like I won't trust all of you in my life.
I truly think if they vote me out, it's gonna be Abby than you. I
mean, it's threats, yeah.
That. Or you than Abby. Like,
Yeah.
That's why I really think we have to work together. And I also meant it last time, but the opportunity presented itself.
Yeah.
So I still think that we should vote Nadia.
Xavier told me that my name came up when he asked Vivian who flipped. Vivian said you, and then when she talked to Abby, or when he talked to Abby, she said my name.
I did flip. It was me.
You flipped? Why?
because Ethan was too big a threat.
Are you still on our side?
Hmm?
Are you still on our side?
Yeah.
For sure.
There was no way that Zaman 3 was going to make it at the end with Ethan.
There's a reason we blindsided Ethan and not you. You didn't have immunity that week either.
That's
I
true.
did.
Yeah.
And that was a no conscious choice.
Okay. Also, Ethan and Xavier both voted for you last week, by the way.
That's what Vivian said too.
Yeah.
So you're scared of Ultron. You want to get rid of some of your Ultron. Who do you want to get rid of Ultron?
I don't know.
Could I convince you to do
Not Nadia.
Not Nadia.
Yeah.
Abby was saying, like between Nadia or Nikhil. And I told her that I don't know about Nadia, but I'd be down to go with Nikhil.
I'm not trying to pull anything big here. This is literally me just trying to figure out like new allies and stuff.
But would you rather vote Nadia?
I don't care about either.
But you said Nadia first.
That's just because like I talk more than you.
I don't think Nikhil would vote for Nadia. Nadia's not
What
gonna
about
vote for
Xavier?
herself. Xavier could.
Don't think Haley is as tight with me and Abby as I thought she was. I think she's tight with Valen.
I think you should play your extra vote tonight.
You promise you're on my side.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll tell Valen Nikhil.
Okay.
Because Valen won't vote out Nadia or Henry.
Yeah. Is Abby on the same page as you?
I don't know, but I need to talk to her.
Yeah.
Wait, who got Valen?
I just talked to Vivian, and she was talking the same thing. And there's so much going on in my brain right now, because like, I actually want to.
What do you mean you actually want to?
Well, I literally don't know what to say to you. I don't know how to convince you to vote with us. Like,
I apologize for that vote. I think it's a little easier to justify given that if it wasn't him, it was probably one of us. So someone in your alliance helped us, and
Abby told me.
oh, she did? Oh, he really didn't want us to tell.
She just told me in our 4-minute conversation.
Yeah, I voted Ethan out last.
Why?
He was too big of a threat. I feel like he was running the game and he had.
Oh, so you were the one who turned last week?
Yeah.
I think after like the whole Lauren and like fake idol thing, I like told myself I wasn't really gonna snake anyone that hard again.
Did you know Nadia has you knew Nadia has the extra vote?
Yeah.
Okay.
I told her to play it tonight.
For who, Vivian?
Yeah. Well, she said that at Tribal she's gonna say 1 or 2, and 1 is Vivian and 2 is Haley, but I think we should just do Vivian.
Oh, in case like they have an idol?
Yeah, but I don't.
But what does that do?
It doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
I would be down to vote on you.
I feel like you're lying to me.
No. I'm just thinking. I'm just thinking
Yeah.
through everything.
Last time someone had to flip, or was there an extra vote? I'm kind of sus with you, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Funny you mentioned that. I know for a pretty much fact he voted Nadia last week with Ethan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Shit.
I'm good to vote with Nikhil if you will vote with us. For
Yeah.
Nikhil if you will vote with us.
I like now that I know that my name has been thrown out there many times.
Okay.
Like I survive at this point.
Nope. Valen stays strong.
You think she'll turn?
We can't just vote Nadia because Cougar and I vote Nadia.
Yeah.
But if you vote Nikhil, like,
I told Abby I would. If you guys are all doing Nikhil, then
okay.
I would.
So Nadia, you'll vote with us.
Yeah.
I promise.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
And you won't flip it on me again?
No, I'm not.
Well, you can't vote me out this time, so.
I truly don't think I'm winning the game because I really think I'm like scrambling my ass off for every tribal, which means I'm probably not on top of the game. It's definitely someone in your alliance, which I believe.
Is that part of the game?
Yes. Like I do not think it's anyone in my alliance because we're all like dying slowly.
I just talked to Nikhil and he is sold on Vivian.
Xavier, I talked to Xavier, he's sold on Vivian.
He's sold on Vivian?
Like to vote her out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Do you want to vote Nadia?
Yes, I'm down.
You're down?
Yeah, I was just talking to you about it.
Did you talk to Henry?
I have not talked to Henry yet.
Okay.
I want to talk to Henry.
I talked to Haley first and then Abby, and they both were like, oh, Xavier would totally vote Nadia.
I mean, I was down last vote.
I feel like I need to explain what happened there. And 4 minutes is not enough to do it.
Yeah, we can talk another time because we're on a timer now.
Yeah, bottom line is I feel extremely bad about it.
It's the game, I understand.
So it's gonna be me, you, Abby, Henry, and Xavier. Okay, sounds easy.
Okay.
And I believe that that's happening.
I do believe too. I mean, I can't do anything to stop it, but I'm really hoping that it does.
Xavier was giving me a little bit of like, I'm just kind of like, ooh, that's a little bit sus, but like, I think he's gonna do it. I think he's gonna do it.
Did he say anything about Brand?
The extra vote?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm surprised you didn't tell me before though.
Huh?
Kind of surprised you didn't tell me before though.
I was kind of keeping it a secret, just like, but like I trust me when I say like I want to benefit for like the group.
My first conversation with Abby, she's just like, she told me, she's like, do you know who flipped? I was like, I'm between like two people. She's like, it was Henry. And I was like, okay.
I told everybody tonight. Nadia knows now.
Yeah.
Nikhil knows now.
When did you guys tell Henry about the Ethan vote?
When did we tell him?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like when you guys, or did he come to you about Ethan? Okay.
I don't want to, I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that.
You trust me? I trust you.
I trust you. I was a little worried about that. I promise I trust you.
I promise you. I take your promise.
Alright, fine.
I take your promise.
I think they're gonna vote.
They're definitely going on, yeah. And she has the extra vote, so like she'll.
And you're sure that Xavier would vote Vivian?
No, he's gonna vote Nadia.
Xavier's gonna vote Nadia.
Dude, he's so close to Vivian. He's not. I mean, he's not the one who turned last time, obviously, but like, he voted Nadia with Ethan like around him.
Last week's too. I don't know what happened last week's.
I know. I mean, someone must have, like we talked about this, someone must have played, unless they had idols and shit and played them. And that would be incredible then.
Hopefully, I don't know.
Are we voting Nadia? Yes. We're good.
Xavier's on board with Nadia. I'm 100% sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you everything. Nikhil said for sure not Nadia, so I just told him Valen.
Yeah.
I'm not planning on doing that. I didn't give Nadia a name. She was my first talk, so I was really big. She was also really big, which is very hurt. So like, I don't know who she thinks it is.
If we can hit him with a Vivian, that would be great. Like,
Oh, I know she's expecting it. She's because like she got
it's
the.
true, she was expecting it.
She's expecting it. That's kind of scared me. I don't know.
I'm down with Nadia. I brought it up to Haley. She was my first conversation. I think everyone else is probably gonna go you, actually.
I know. I figured that might have come to both.
Do I use my extra vote? Is that a question?
Huh?
Or my steal vote? Do I use my steal vote?
You have a steal vote? Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I'm sorry, I can't keep track of all of the things that you have. Oh my gosh.
If she says like 2 or something like that, based on like,
Nadia says 2.
then like plan 2 or something like that, we're
Then we're all
voting.
voting.
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessary. I feel like it's maybe not. Like
No, I don't think so. I think we see what she does.
Tell me the tea about Xavier.
Vivian, like she's one of the snakiest.
First of all, when Ayala was getting out, like before he got out, he was like, dude, I know if it, like, don't trust Xavier whatsoever, because he's the one who tipped off Abby. He's been close to all 3 of them and us. Does no one figure that out?
I don't know where people are voting other than hopefully our 5 are voting Nadia.
Shoot. Oh gosh, that's so bad. Now I feel like Xavier was lying to me and he's actually gonna vote out Vivian. What do we do? I think we should play it.
Every one of like you guys I've talked to, I've just been like, yep, good on Nadia, and every one of the others have been like, okay, sounds like it's gonna be Vivian.
So who is it, Henry?
It's Nadia.
Okay. It's you and me. Yeah, we're the swings. Who do you want gone? Who have you been hearing?
I know that it's either gonna be Nadia or Vivian, depending on what.
Yeah. Depending on what you and I think.
I think there's something. So.
And the fact that Xavier voted for you last time scares me. He told me he was going to vote Vivian.
Straight up lying. I literally just.
Well, did you just meet with Xavier? What did he say? He said
just
Vivian?
straight up lied to me.
He said
I was
Vivian,
basically.
vote Vivian?
Yeah, he was Vivian. And I basically was like, oh my god, I'm putting blind trust into people. Like, I don't know who snaked me. This kid is straight up lying to me.
I'm glad we're talking last, but like,
Yeah, oh my gosh. I mean, which one would fuck your game up more?
I don't know. Which one would fuck? I mean, I feel like they're both great threats to get out.
It's fine with us 3.
Yeah, that's only if we trust. Do we trust them that they're gonna vote Nadia?
I trust Xavier.
Do you not want to do Vivian?
I mean, I personally, if Nadia's playing her advantage tonight, then I'm a little less afraid, because I'm afraid of the advantage, to be honest.
Okay, so when they killed somebody, apparently Xavier knows I'm.
He texted me today. He's just, yeah. And he was just like, do you think like Nadia will use it tonight? And I was like, I'm like, I never said anything to you.
Nikhil said Henry too.
Henry told him extra vote.
You reached out to Ricky
Yeah,
and
exactly.
proposed a secret.
1 minute.
Yeah, and we had it going, but he got eliminated that night.
Holy crap.
Exactly. So you didn't even know about it, right?
I think it's time.
To use it?
No, it's time to get out.
No, you don't say that.
Girl, you can't leave me. That's a while ago. I had big dreams.
And you proposed it to Abby.
And I'm supposed to bid first, and I'm being honest, I think Xavier's a threat, and like he's gonna, like the number of times he switched sides, he has to go.
Also concerned about potentially, like a goodie or something. Oh, like a random surprise goodie. I don't know what they did. Like I don't know that many goodies though.
So I basically told Henry, I'm like, okay, with Vivian, but if something sus happens, then I'll yell out to you, and then we flip to the
Okay, that's the thing. Okay.
I mean, you could just vote Nadia. And I could just vote Vivian. Because they're reading out the votes, and then it would be 4-4, and then the thing splits it.
Shit. Yeah. And then it's up to Nadia if she plays her thing or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but should I play my stool? I don't think so either. I think we're probably okay with what you said. Yeah, I think we're fine. I truly believe them.
Okay, but we could also. Oh fuck. So if it's a tie, then we go Vivian. But do we want to just go Vivian? This is my brain just breaking.
You should not have told everyone about the Black Widow Alliance because that would have been cool as hell. And now you're gonna have to go home.
Oh, is this the right person? Oh.
Dude, this is my like 4th time voting for you. If you don't get out the show, I'm gonna kill myself.
I still think you're the puppet master.
I'll go tally the votes. I have the votes. If anybody has a hidden immunity idol or an advantage that they want to play, now is the time to do so.
I would like to use my extra vote, please.
This is indeed an extra vote. Nadia will be casting an extra vote.
Can I steal that back?
Do you have a steal vote?
I do indeed.
This is indeed a vote steal advantage. Abby will be casting in place of Nadia's extra vote. Abby, you can come back to the voting booth. I have the votes. Once the votes are read, the decision is final, and the person voted out will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. I'll read the votes. First vote. Vivian. That's 1 vote, Vivian. Next vote. Nadia. That's 1 vote, Nadia, 1 vote, Vivian. Vivian. That's 2 votes, Vivian, 1 vote, Nadia. Nadia. That's 2 votes each. 5 votes left. Vivian, that's 3 votes Vivian, 2 votes Nadia. Nadia, we're tied again, that's 3 apiece, 3 votes left. Vivian, that's 4 votes Vivian, 3 votes Nadia, 2 votes left. Nadia, we're tied again, that's 4 votes Nadia, 4 votes Vivian, 1 vote left. And the 11th person voted out of Scotty Survivor Lost in Time, and the 4th member of our jury.
This is for Anna, I guess?
Vivian. Vivian, tonight that's 5, that's enough. Vivian, the tribe has spoken. It's time for you to go. An extra vote, a vote steal, and double trouble. What's next? Good night.
Next time on Scotty Survivor Lost in Time. After losing her closest ally in Vivian, Abby fights to stay alive against a strong majority. And how will an endurance challenge test the players like never before?
I ended up playing too hard too early, which is exactly what I told myself I wouldn't do. To be fair, I was dug into a grave by Ethan flipping, and I had to play hard to get out of it, and I got kind of out of it, but I ended up still hitting, or I still kicked myself in the ass by just playing too hard. So good luck to everyone still in the game. It's been a really good time.